This will be a quick overview of the history of Kiddie Park. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please consider subscribing. Now to Kiddie Park. Before SeaWorld San Antonio and Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, there was Kiddie Park and Playland Park. In this video, we will cover the history of Kiddie Park. Kiddie Park was established in 1925 by P.W. Curry, Tom Riordan, and Rufus Walker. It was located at Mulberry and Broadway. The park's footprint was approximately 38,000 square feet. Kiddie Park is considered the oldest children's amusement park in the country. In 1978, Bob Aston purchased the park from co-founder P.W. Curry. In 2009, the park's new owners Rad and Ashley Weaver and their management team were going through a renovation. Needing a capstone project, I approached the park management team led, Brent Conger, to record their upgrade. This is when I learned the historical significance of the park. Kiddie Park preserved its vintage style by maintaining many of its original rides while updating park facilities. The park's centerpiece is the nationally famous hand-carved Herschell Spillman Carousel. The Spillman Carousel has been in operation for over 90 years. It was created in 1918 and moved from New York to Miami, then in 1935 to San Antonio. Not as old as the Spillman Carousel, the old-fashioned Ferris wheel was also a kid classic. Some of the first rides were ponies and goats. The park expanded to miniature cars and miniature plane rides. Over time, additional rides were added, such as the peddle cars. Spillman's Little Dipper roller coaster, two boat rides, and an old-fashioned arcade. But before we move forward, we need to address the carousel. So, what is the big deal about Herschell Spillman carousels? All horses and other ride vehicles were hand-carved. The entire ride was built prior to computer-aided design engineering. Basically, these machines were built with brain power and probably a slide rule or two. A slide rule is an analog computer. I will leave links below so you can see this old tech. Allen Herschell and James Armitage created the Armitage-Herschell Company in 1873. They did this in concert with Frères Limonère, a French organ builder in Paris. Herschell left the Armitage Company and founded his new carousel business in 1900. He titled it the Herschell Spillman Company. 13 years later, in 1913, again Herschell retired. Restless, 3 years later he left retirement and started the Allen Herschell Company, competing with his former partners. To avoid confusion, management at the Herschell Spillman Carousel Company renamed their company to the Spillman Engineering Company. To promote his ride business, Herschell pioneered the Kiddie Land amusement concept. Virtually all amusement parks across the globe still use Herschell's Kiddie Land or Kiddie Area concept. It's 1945, and the war is over. Veterans were returning home and they would tell of their travels and would want to relive the experiences with family and friends. Herschell knew the amusement business would explode. Thus the Allen Herschell Company purchased the Spillman Engineering Company. The last Carousel made in Western New York left the factory in 1970. In 1983, the original Herschell factory was closed and opened as a Carousel museum. Now back to Kiddie Park San Antonio. In 2019, the Kiddie Park management team realized it was no longer possible to continue operations at the Broadway location. When Kiddie Park was established in the 20s, it wasn't landlocked by other businesses. Parking was ample. However, today things are different. With gentrification and redevelopment, expansion was no longer a possibility. One of the last events held at Park prior to relocating was a children's book author Jenna Bush book signing. Jenna Bush is the former first daughter of President George Bush Sr. A very appropriate location for a child's book signing. Relocated, Kiddie Park is now operating as an extension of the San Antonio Zoo in Brackenridge Park. This is great because the zoo is city supported. As a standalone business, Kiddie Park management had to use creative financing to stay afloat. The zoo has been operating a miniature train since 1956. This gives the zoo experience in running the park. Did I mention the zoo train circles a 2-mile track with several stations in 20 minutes? In 2021, the train was modernized with a new engine and passenger cars. It is considered the longest miniature railroad in the world. The main station is the Whitty Museum and Zoo Station. The other stations are Japanese Tea and Sunken Garden, the First Tee Golf Course Station, and Brackenridge Parking Garage. Patrons are able to stop at these locations and get a return ride on the train with their train tickets. Zoo CEO Tim Morrow plans to preserve the look and feel of the historic institution. San Antonio's lost too many iconic attractions, he said, citing the defunct Playland Park. We're excited to be part of keeping this going. There is a 10-year revenue sharing agreement between the park and the zoo. After 10 years, the zoo will be the sole owner of the park. Morrow stated the zoo sees nearly 1.2 million visitors a year. He sees Kiddie Park as an enhancement that will increase those numbers. This was a quick overview of the history of Kiddie Park. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please consider subscribing. Have a great day.